So what do you do when you have no career direction? Let's talk about it. So when I talk to people about a career direction, it tends to be one of those really frustrating things. Trust me, I know I've been there. And looking at it now, I can see how I really didn't have things clearly defined in terms of what I actually wanted to be doing. And it was less about what, and it was more about the energy of it and the environment of it. So let's talk about that. The energy of doing your job looks something like, how do you want to be feeling every day? How do you want to feel in your job? How much energy do you have for a specific job? That's something that really is very important to figure out as you are either starting in a career or restarting in a career. Like if you decide that you want to change careers or that it does have no direction and you want to inject some more energy into your career. So I would recommend looking at where the energy flows, where you flow the most, and start there. One of the assessments that I really, really love is Wealth Dynamics. That's something that changed my life. And while it's mostly for people who have an entrepreneurial bent towards them, it also can help understand how you see energy flowing in business and how you might be prone to create that flow or help someone create their flow. So I highly recommend that. It's not expensive, it's a wonderful assessment, and it can really be very enlightening. I also like to really just look at today. A lot of times we look at the career and our lives as one big package. But the truth is that you're going to find a lot out on the journey, and you may change your mind a few times, and that's totally fine. So where do you want to be right now? What do you want to be experiencing right now? Like today, right now. Don't even worry about next year. I know it feels like, what are you talking about, Meghan? If I have to funnel my energy into one thing and get really, really good at it and be the best at it. No, you don't. And in fact, in today's day and age, we're seeing that people who are generalists have a better chance of being successful, both in terms of financial gain and as well as satisfaction in their careers and in their lives by extension. So having tons of different skills and sort of being that inch deep and a mile wide kind of a person can actually come in your favor. I've changed careers many times, and I would say that I'm a much better person and an entrepreneur and coach and mother and wife for it. So, that's the spice of life, variety, right? Another thing I would consider is, where do you want to be doing this job? Do you like being in an office setting? Do you like having a coffee bar inside of your company? Do you like working from home? Do you like working around other people and need that energy to keep you going all day long? Or do you prefer to kind of squirrel away and get things done? Do you like to work with technology, or do you like to work with people? Something else I would consider is indoor, outdoor. For example, I had this realization that I didn't want to really sit at a desk from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. every night, like I was doing for a while in my 20s. And I somehow came across the sense that I wanted to be doing something where I could be taking different meetings out of the office, or have places to go or people to meet up with and collaborate with, instead of just all under one roof. And that really gave me some direction for what to look for next, and also what to say no to and things to stay away from, because I knew what I didn't want to be doing anymore, which is also a super key to all of this. On that note, I highly recommend creating a filter. So thinking of the things that make up a career or a job in your industry or something that you're interested in, and coming up with the who, what, where, when, how, why, how much, all of it, to figure out, sort of narrow down your places to explore, because it can feel daunting. The point I was just making about being able to see what you may not want to be doing anymore. And that really can give you a sense of focus. This is not like a pros and cons list. This is more of a, okay, well, we can eliminate 90% of that, or nope, definitely don't want to work with people all day long. I like animals. So if you can see even in one area, it could give you some direction around something that you might want to transition into. Don't worry about what you studied in school either. I feel the caveat is appropriate to say here, because as you start working through that filter, you may come across things that are like, but I spent all this time and money studying this, and I spent all this time in this career doing this and learning this, and that's okay. You know, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to learn more about who you are. And I think that's part of the evolutionary process in our lifetime, which is to figure those things out. And you don't come out of the womb necessarily knowing what you want to do. There's like a few, maybe lucky 5% that do. But otherwise, we kind of have to feel our way around in the dark and try a bunch of different things. It's a little bit like dating. Careers are the same. Forget about that degree. So I am looking back at something I did with a client of mine, and I thought I would share to give you a sense. So who do you want to work with? Are you good with people naturally? Do you enjoy managing relationships? Do you like working with people in person? Doing what? You prefer a role that is nurturing versus overgrowth. So basically, do you prefer growing a business, like numbers and seeing it multiply and accumulate, or do you like to work with people and watch them grow? I mentioned this. Where do you want to be when you're working? How much? Is it a steady income, or are you like, yeah, entrepreneurial, we'll figure it out when we get there and sky's the limit? Or do you want to work on commission so that you can kind of have your own flow to your work? That's something to consider, as much as how much you want to be making. And again, don't think so far out. As we see now, the world can change on a dime. So making plans for today based on the way that it used to be, even last year, let alone decades ago, when a lot of these current industries were created, is not really the best idea. So think about today, how much money you need to sustain to get to where you want to go. Do you want to go live abroad next year, work abroad, or travel? Those are considerations. Also, what is your non-negotiable? Having a sense of autonomy over your life, is that a non-negotiable? Is having a steady income non-negotiable? That'll also give you some clarity in terms of the finer details on your filtering and moving forward and finding that direction and that momentum. And then lastly, what's not important to you? Is it leadership? Like, some people just really don't want to be a leader. They just want to go to work and do what they're really, really good at, or they want to go be an artist and not have anybody to deal with or answer to them. So thinking about those things really can make the difference. The last point that I'd like to leave you with is this. And this is a piece of wisdom that was given to me, and I really wish everybody in the world had it. And that's, we perceive the world like it's in this linear time, but really it's more like a spiral. And so when you feel like you're going backwards, it could be that you're just going around the turn of a spiral as you go up and as you're moving closer and closer and closer to who you are becoming. Life is this process of unbecoming, being and becoming. And so this idea that life is just this linear path, you're born and then you die, while it kind of looks like that, it's not. And anytime that you feel stagnant, it's an opportunity for change. And the change is just right around that corner. If you have a fire in your belly and you know that there's a better way to do things, then you're gonna love this. I have a free and fun diagnostic tool that will let you know if you are calibrated to your highest level of energy. If you've watched any of the other videos of mine on this channel, then you'll know I talk about the 7 centers of energy flow or leaks for both individuals and organizations. It's an easy tool that you can use over and over again. So visit the link below and get calibrating. It has been a privilege and so fun being on Michelle's channel. She is definitely the epitome of a great mentor and coach. I hope you get yourself one too.